Well, hello everybody, how are you doing this fine day? I hope you're enjoying your week. You know, I've had a lot of challenges on this channel, but out of all those challenges, I don't think I've ever had one that is so unbelievably impossible to get through. But I think I've finally done it. I think I've finally found a challenge that is just straight up not possible to survive. Just nobody can fucking do it. Yeah, I know on this list I have gathered all manner of gods and warriors and adventurers, but how are these characters gonna deal with taking them and then just shoving them in this fucking little cramped cubicle to do spreadsheets all goddamn day? How the fuck can they survive that shit? I mean, yeah, sure, Kratos can resist having his soul sucked by Hades, the god of the underworld. But can he survive the soul-sucking monotony of a 9 to 5? I don't know, but we're about to fucking find out. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, if you join the membership, you get videos early. And down below in the pinned comment is a link to the Discord if you want to join the Discord and fucking party. But that's enough wasting your time. Let's get started. So what are our survivors gonna have to deal with in today's survival challenge? It's so horrifying, I don't even really like feel comfortable talking about it. Like it's what do the kids say? It's triggering. It's triggering me. See guys, I'm not disconnected. I'm hip with the youngins. So first off, what our survivors are gonna have to do is they're gonna have to wake up like super fucking early. Like way earlier than they would actually have to normally get to the location where they need to go. And then they're gonna have to sit in extremely slow, extremely long, mind-numbing levels of traffic. Like the kind of traffic where you could put your car and park multiple times. And then eventually, once they get to the location they need to get to, they're gonna get shoved into this little room with 4 walls. Not even really a room because it doesn't have a ceiling. It's just 4 little bullshit knot walls. And you have to sit there for 8 hours straight filling out spreadsheets. That's not going to take you anywhere near 8 hours to actually do. Maybe you might have 15-20 minutes of actual work to accomplish the whole day, and the rest of it you just have to sort of pass the time and not lose your goddamn mind. All the while, this douchebag named Lumberg is gonna come up to you every 10 or 15 minutes, and it doesn't matter what you're doing or how fast you're doing it, you're not doing it right and you're not doing it fast enough. Even if you have nothing to do, you're not doing that nothing good enough. And Lumberg here will constantly fucking remind you of that. Then after those 8 hours are almost done and you're looking forward to go home, that Lumberg douchebag is gonna come back in the last 10-15 minutes and ask you if you want to stay and work overtime. And this is where your resistance to illusion manipulation is gonna come in handy, because he's not actually asking you. You're expected to take that overtime, and if not, he's gonna be passive aggressive to you for the rest of the fucking week. So after you get strong-armed and staying for an unspecified amount of time, because you don't know how long you have to stay, you're just kind of there until they let you go. Then once you leave, you gotta sit in that exact same traffic to get all the way back home, to go to your fucking shitty 1-bedroom apartment with no girlfriend because you're a fucking loser, and thin-ass walls with some bummy dude who lives next door yelling through them every 5 minutes, who is clearly happier in his life than you are. And if all of this isn't bad enough, if I haven't broken the very fabric of your soul just by describing these horrors to you enough already, you then have to force yourself to stay up as late as humanly possible, because you know that once you fall asleep, you enter a fucking time loop. And you have to go through all of this shit all over again. And not just once, forever, for an infinite amount of time. As many times as it takes for you to eventually just fucking die of hopelessness. So can our survivors possibly overcome this challenge? I don't know, guys. I think I genuinely created the most difficult challenge that can be created. Let's get into this. Now, first up on the chopping block, we have Kratos from the God of War series. And seeing how he's going to do in the Office Space universe is really going to be dependent on which version of Kratos we use. Do we use the young, awesome, badass Greek Kratos, or the fucking lame, hippie bitch Norse Kratos? But being a person who likes to have my cake and eat it too, I'm just gonna fucking do both. So I think it's pretty clear here, young Kratos is gonna lose his goddamn mind. He's gonna be stuck in that little cubicle. He's not gonna really fit in it because this dude's like 8 fucking feet tall. He's gonna be standing there all crouched up in a little chair that's super fucking uncomfortable to sit in. And he's gonna need some sort of stress release, obviously, because he's got some issues in that area. They're gonna give him a little squeeze ball. He's gonna fucking squeeze it. It's, what is this, the stress balls? He's gonna start squeezing the stress balls, and it's gonna squeak super loud. And this is gonna lead to one of two things. Either one, everyone around him is gonna get super fucking annoyed with his goddamn squeaking, and they're gonna take it away from him, which is gonna cause him to unleash massive amounts of rage upon all in his vicinity, or it's gonna fucking pop due to overuse, and then Kratos will also unleash his rage upon everyone in the vicinity. Either way, he's basically murdering everybody and getting fired. I'm struggling to think of a scenario where that doesn't happen. Now, old Kratos is gonna last a lot better. You see, just like young Kratos, he still has that rage within him, embedded deep within his fucking soul. He just never uses it because game developers don't want to give players what they actually want. So while he's gonna be sitting there, I don't know, fucking meditating or some shit, however it is he deals with stress, it's gonna allow him to last a lot longer and do this monotonous fucking job for considerably longer than young Kratos would be able to do. The problem is, he's still gonna get fucking fired. His decision-making abilities are garbage. They're trash. And this is gonna make him do some seriously stupid shit. Like, I mean, old Kratos, the several hundred-year-old Spartan general, gave command of the Ragnarok War to his 12-year-old son, whose orders were then, hey, let's fight this war without killing anybody. And Norse Kratos, in all his wisdom, was like, what a fucking swell idea. Who the fuck thought this game was written well? Why do people like this game? It's terrible. Who the fuck wrote this? The Care Bears? It's so fucking stupid. Next up, we have Cthulhu, the outer god from the Lovecraftian universe. And this one's very interesting because I actually think Cthulhu is gonna do a fucking magnificent job. You see, Cthulhu has a long history of just staying in one location and not moving or thinking or really doing anything for literally billions or trillions of years, since before the beginning of time. He's not a particularly active person. He doesn't really seem to get bored, so the soul-crushing monotony of the job won't really get to him. They'll stick him in his little cubicle, and he'll just fucking do what he needs to do. Like, it's fine. It won't be an issue. They come over, bother him every 15 minutes. He'll look at him, just blah, 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 blah. And it's fine. It's good. And they'll leave, and it'll be fine. They ask him for overtime? Sure. What else am I gonna fucking do? I'll take the overtime. He'll be like top fucking employee. The problem here is it's sort of like having one really good employee, but then like shitting on all the other employees. Because of Cthulhu's passive madness manipulation, the entire office is gonna lose its goddamn mind. They're gonna be running around naked, covering peanut butter on themselves and fucking pencil sharpeners, and all the higher ups in the company are gonna be thinking to themselves, what the fuck is going on? Why has production plummeted so harshly? And honestly, there's really only one conclusion they can come to. It's probably because of the dude with tentacles coming out of his face. Like, I just don't think that that's much of a leap in logic there. And no, it's not racism, it's stereotyping. Stereotyping is very useful. So yeah, despite being a magnificent employee, Cthulhu is gonna get fucking fired. All because of what mostly amounts to a fucking birth defect. Next up, we have Guts from the Berserk series. Now, normally Guts would do absolutely horrible here, but never be surprised what a man is willing to do to support his family. And the fact of the matter is that Guts has to take care of his girlfriend and the baby that she had with his best friend, Beta. So he's gonna go into the job day in and day out, absolutely fucking hating it, but knowing that he needs that paycheck because he has another man's family to take care of. The main problem here is that Guts is cursed, you see. Demons are attracted to this man. They really want him. They want him bad. And kind of like a crazy ex-girlfriend who shows up to your job and then just starts throwing shit and destroying shit, meaning like, I know you fuck that bitch, you hoe. You know, the basic, very Jerry Springer type of shit. These demons are gonna keep popping up at this man's job over and over and over again. And maybe the bosses might say, you know what, I get it, shit happens, drama, whatever. Just keep the drama outside the building. They might do that once or twice or 3 times, but 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times, it's a bit ridiculous. Eventually this job is gonna have no choice but to be like, bro, control your bitch. But obviously it takes a true alpha to control your bitch. And clearly, by Guts' family situation, alpha he is not. So sadly, Guts is also gonna get fucking fired. Maybe you could stay at home with some other dude's kid and let Casca go to fucking work. Beta. Next up, we have Dr. Frankenstein from, like, thousands of fucking Frankenstein stories. And I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid. This dude has way too high energy levels to even think about being able to work here for more than a couple of days. Like, it's too much, right? It's a quiet office building. Everyone's just, you know, calm, doing their work in their little cubicles, and all of a sudden this fucking madman out of nowhere just starts screaming about how he wants to fucking create life and he's God and shit. Everybody's like, whoa, take the fucking energy down, bro. Like, everybody else here is quiet. You're fucking up the whole job vibe. And he's like, it's alive! Holy shit. Okay, you know what? This ain't gonna work out. You need to fucking go. No, you fucking fired immediately. It's too much. It's too much. Now Frankenstein's monster, that's a totally different situation. Look, he's not the brightest. He doesn't have a particularly large amount of ambition, but those are the type of people that these jobs want. They're just gonna put him down somewhere in a basement where he could fucking, I don't know, staple papers or some shit, because, you know, he's a bunch of dudes stapled together. So that's kind of distracting. But once he's down there in this little room and he's just fucking retard slapping all the staplers, he'll be fine. I mean, he's gonna break a fuck ton of staplers, and that might be a bit of an issue, but the company will just take it out of his check and just keep supplying him with more staplers, and Frankenstein's not even gonna fucking notice. Like, he's gonna be so happy down there slapping staplers that he's not even gonna realize that he's supposed to be getting paid for this shit. They won't even tell this motherfucker when the day's over. They're gonna get maximum hours of work for this man for basically no money whatsoever, and all of their packets will be stapled for free. We're not even halfway through the list yet, and we survived an impossible survival challenge. Who'da fucking thunk? Next up, we have Fievel from An American Tale. So how's Fievel gonna do in Office Space? He's gonna do terribly, because he's a fucking mouse. He's a mouse, guys. Seriously? How the fuck is he even gonna fill out a spreadsheet? How's he gonna hold the pencil? Look, guys, this DEI bullshit is getting a little bit out of hand. Really? A fucking mouse? Not even just a mouse, but a Russian Jew immigrant mouse. Look, I'm not prejudiced or nothing, but there's a fucking limit, guys. I mean, can the motherfucker even communicate with humans? I haven't even touched on the fact that he's a fucking child. Look, I think we should put these little fucking leeches to work just as much as the next guy. But mice only live to be like a fucking year. So what, this little bastard's got like 9 months left to live? And then I'm supposed to pay out this little shit Social Security when I'm not even collecting that shit yet? I've been doing this shit for like 20 fucking years. Hell no. Look, I know this is kind of an unpopular opinion, but I'm getting real sick of all these mice Russian Jew immigrants coming on over illegally and then putting all this fucking extra weight on our goddamn social programs. We got enough problems over here paying for our own mice and Social Security. We have more than enough problems to deal with. Next up, we got Imhotep from the Mummy series. And right out the bat, we're gonna have some issues with this because the motherfucker doesn't speak English. I mean, that's gonna be an issue. I don't know what language this is, but it ain't fucking English, and he's not gonna be able to communicate with anybody. On top of that, he's not particularly trustful. I mean, he went and fucked his last boss's girlfriend and then had him murdered, and that's not gonna look particularly good on a resume. Not to mention possibly the worst part of the whole thing. This man is gonna be a goddamn HR nightmare. You can't just go around the office abducting women and sacrificing them to bring back your dead girlfriend. The company's insurance premiums are just not gonna cover that kind of bullshit. So a lot like Fievel, I just straight up don't think that he's gonna get hired. He's a fucking court case waiting to happen. Last up, but certainly not least, we have Adolf Hitler from the World War series, specifically the sequel. And just a bit of cool little kind of side information. I've actually heard rumblings that they're supposed to be finishing off the trilogy in the next couple of years and just ending the whole franchise. So, you know, we got that to look forward to. But no, to get serious for a second, I know what you guys are thinking. This ain't right. You can't use Hitler in the video. It's inappropriate. It's wildly disrespectful, you know, because of all the history that's related to Hitler. I mean, you know, because he died of a tragic overdose. But you know what? I kind of fight back against that. Because if there was anything that Hitler was known for, like the number one thing Hitler was known worldwide for, it was his sense of humor. I think he would really like this video. I mean, everybody knows that the German people can take a joke. So how would Hitler do if he got hired on in the Office Space universe? I actually think up to a point he's going to do really, really well. For one, the man's ambitious. That's a given. But also, he's incredibly charismatic. You know, to some people, they found this charismatic. Look, don't be a bigot, okay? This is what the German people liked. This is what they considered charismatic. It's a cultural thing, I guess. This was their guy. They loved this guy. Out of all the other guys, this was like the best one, you know? So at first he's gonna do really well. He's gonna make a bunch of friends. Everyone's gonna like him. I mean, they got to. Germany did. But then eventually, you know, he's gonna run into some issues with his boss, Bill Lumberg. Lumberg. Yeah, that's gonna go great. And lastly, I gotta point out the elephant in the room. You know, there was that stuff he did. You know, it's not gonna look the best. You know what I'm talking about? The stuff, all that. I mean, he painted. It's kind of gay. But that's gonna be all for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, if you join the membership, is anybody even fucking watching this video anymore? I feel like I lost half y'all at American Tail and then the other half at Hitler. It don't even matter what I say at this point. I can literally end this video any way I want to. And that's what I'm gonna do.
Now also, I'm gonna leave the Detroit here. Now also, we want to get inside the actual sheath here. Gosh.